the monastery in Univ was totally self-sufficient in food. It was a farm, and so we all had chores to do. We worked in the fields, we took the sheep to pasture, we milked the cows, we collected the manure on a manure pile and then spread it on fields. So we did what was necessary, whatever tasks we were assigned. We also went to school. There was a one-room schoolhouse, and after the war, of course, we separated, but then in the 1990s, I finally found them. And one whose name is Oded Amaranth, but I knew him as Dorko. He became an engineer, a heating and air conditioning engineer in Israel, and lives in Tel Aviv. The other little boy was younger than we were. He was only 3 years old at the time. Eventually, his talent was recognized by the orphanage he was in. He became a professor at the Warsaw University. Eventually became the director of SIPRI for 10 years, which is a European Swedish disarmament group. Eventually he became the foreign minister of Poland. There was another little boy who was hidden with his mother in the attic of our schoolmaster Duke's home. And that when we studied, he was actually upstairs listening through the slats. And he eventually, his name is Roald Hoffman, and he eventually became a professor of chemistry at Cornell and a Nobel Prize winner in chemistry. He's also a prize-winning poet, and has published a number of books of poetry as well as a playwright. And one of his poems that he's published is of his jealousy as he was sitting in there watching us. Because he didn't know who they were, but the fact that he was in an attic. So as I look back on it, I think the little group that we had in Univ did okay.